Hello guys, welcome to the channel. It's quite late at night, it's about 1 a.m. I've been up watching movies. So I'm going to do a little review for you for a movie I just watched. It's on the Arrow video and it's called The House That Screamed. Now I believe this is a 1970s Spanish film and it's a very strange film, but quite wonderful. I really enjoyed it, but it's a kind of mixture of two sort of genres. It's got a little bit of a giallo feel with a sort of like a bit like a woman's sort of prison sort of feel, but it's not a woman's prison. This is a costume drama, and it's got a very sort of Hammer look to the film, but it's nothing like a Hammer film. And it's based in a boarding house for like young women. And it's not a boarding school or such, but they do have lessons like a boarding school. But these are women like 18 and 19 and things like that. These are not like children, these are women. And they go to this beautiful looking house in this beautiful looking area, but it seems quite secluded away from everything. Um, lots of bizarre things happen, and it's full of really strange characters and bizarre characters. The schoolgirls are quite, well, I don't call them schoolgirls. The young women are very frustrated, I think, sexually frustrated, because they're in this strict sort of environment run by this headmistress who's also very sexually frustrated, as you see her a number of times sort of eyeing the girls up when they're in the shower and things like that, and she's sort of like eyeing them up, and she has a very sort of very strange and sexually close relationship with her young son called Lewis, who lives there at the school with them. He's about sort of 15, 16. So there's a bit of incest sort of story going on as well, all because of her sort of frustrations. And a new girl arrives there, and she's sort of like trying to settle in and find the ways. And there's like a group of strict girls there that sort of like the headmistress is uh, sort of they I don't know the word for them, like the hall monitor sort of thing. You know, they're like her sort of like right hand, sort of like, and do things that she wants to do. So it's quite strange. There's one section in the film when one girl's misbehaving and she gets taken to a sort of solitary sort of area, and when she's there, she won't apologise or anything. So the headmistress makes these girls, other girls that are like her sort of like her minions, if you like, and they sort of strip her back down, and then they end up whipping her and stuff like that. It's a very bizarre film, so it has scenes of sort of like torture in there. And then there's a murder in the film as well, where one of the girls that's been seeing the son, her son Lewis, she goes to meet him one night in the greenhouse, and she ends up getting murdered and stabbed to death and gone missing. And these girls thinking that these because it's run really strictly, and they think that these girls have been escaping, but it looks like they're being murdered by somebody, and the headmistress is saying that they've escaped. She's very, very strict, like I said, and you get her son Lewis, who's sort of like perving around like a peeping tom around all the sort of girls and stuff like that, and the headmistress is very possessive with him, and he doesn't want her to be interested in any girl. She wants him to find a girl like her. It's very, very strange, and she starts kissing him on the lips and stuff like this. It's a very strange and very it's quite what's the word I'm looking for? It crosses a few boundaries very subtly, because a lot of it is a very costume drama, very well spoken, and it's like an upper class sort of place, in a way, like come on girls sort of thing, you know what I mean? And they all follow the rules, and they're all properly dressed, a bit like Picnic at Hanging Rock when they're all properly dressed and something like that. But it's that sort of environment that was in that sort of film. But this one's has a lot more issues going on. Like all the rooms are locked at night, and when they're all in bed, their rooms locked. And I think, wow, health and safety. What if there's a fire? They can't get out. And stuff like this is all going on. And then there's a woodman that comes to fill the wood barn up called Henry, and the girls that are the minions, they sort of like, if you sort of like do as they say, like the prison sort of like guys, if you do what they say, they will allow you to go and meet with Henry in the barn when he comes once a month. So each girl gets a chance to go there and have their sort of sexual way with him, I suppose. And if they're frustrated, they're all going to be wanting it. And when one of the girls goes there, you see them all and the other girls in the sewing room all looking really frustrated and sort of annoyed that it wasn't them. All these bizarre things going, and the young girl that's just arrived there, she's sort of struggling to come to terms with what this all is going on, because she keeps getting pulled up by the minion sort of girls, like the excuse me. Oh, saying, yeah, if you do what we say, we will, make things easier for you. So you don't have to work so hard and all this sort of thing. It's a really strange sort of concept, because sometimes it's a little bit like Suspiria, because there's like the ballet sort of school, like they go to sort of like class, like a dance class, they go to like a music class, they have writing classes and sewing classes. It's got that sort of Suspiria feel to it, but it's not about witches or anything like that, and it's not as gory as that. There is some gore in the film, but it's got a very strange feel about it, because there's so many little things going on. Like I said, you've got sexual frustration from the girls. You've got a headmistress who seems to be very interested in the girls, sexually frustrated, and has an sort of an incest sort of relationship with her son, which is very bizarre. And then you've got these girls that are running it like a prison, like, making you their bitches, if you like, if you do things by right, as they say, they will make life easier for you. And it is almost run like a little prison, where sometimes the windows are nailed down and they're all locked in at night. And it is almost like a prison film, but has a giallo feel, like I said, because there's these murders going on and things like this, and we don't know who it is until the sort of film unravels. And it's a very strange little film. But what do I think of it? I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really, really cool. I've seen other channels that I follow, like Pizzawell and things like that, review it and give it a little bit of a harsh review, really, saying, it lacks stuff, not a lot going, it's a very slow burn, but it's got something really special about it, and I can't put my finger on it. It's a very, very sort of bizarre little film. Is it a horror film? It's got horror elements, because it's horror in the sense of like the way these girls are sort of locked up, and and they can't do anything they want, and they get tortured. They say there's torture in the film, and there's been murders. So yeah, it's definitely a horror film. The title's a bit misleading, The House That Screamed. I thought it was going to be like a sort of a haunting sort of film, but no, there's nothing like that. It's more about all these strange, strong personalities, and a lot of sexual tension going on because it's an all-female place. That things get a little bit out of control, and it's great, absolutely great. The pluses of this edition, the transfer is really nice. Again, Arrow have done a great sort of 4K restoration of this film onto Blu-ray. Really, really cool. The acting's pretty good, to be honest. It's really cool. It's dubbed, so you can have it in Spanish or dubbed in English. I had it dubbed in English, and you wouldn't even know it was a Spanish film. It's so dubbed really well. It's really, really cool. It's a good story. It's a crazy story because it's a little bit everywhere. That's why I can't give you a proper full-on synopsis of it, because there isn't a straightforward linear sort of story. There's loads of little things that are going on, and it's like you sort of like glued to it, you know, because you're thinking, wow, what a weird, bizarre place, what a weird situation to be in, where you're surrounded by these people that are sort of under this control of this headmistress sort of person who runs it almost like a prison camp. And so you take every advantage of everything you possibly can. Like I said, the girl that was seeing her son, she sneaks out of lessons and sneaks out late at night and things like this, but succumbs to being murdered. Is it the mother that's doing it, you know, to her son, because this sort of incest sort of relationship she's got going with him? It's a wonderful film, really wonderful. And it's a really well sort of shot film, and it is a slow burn, it's a slow paced film, but I like that because it's more of a story film than a horror of scares or gore or murders and killings and stuff like that, or beheadings and stuff like that. It's a mystery sort of film, and it's wonderful. And I'm going to score it an awesome watch and give it 8 out of 10. It's really, really cool. It's not a 9 out of 10 because it doesn't have a lot of horror aspects in it. And it's not a 10 out of 10 because it lacks a lot of my categories that have to be in there to score that 10 out of 10. But I had a great time watching it, and I absolutely highly recommend it to you if you like films that are a little bit different, with sort of like tiny little stories going on in this whole sort of like house or manor. If you'd like to delve into that, and it's a very, I mean, the girls are all very, very pretty. They're all sort of like 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and they're all very, very pretty. And it's, you know, it's visually great to look at. And you sort of like want to see what happens. The House That Screamed, 8 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below. It's probably, not many of you probably seen it because it is a strange film and it's a Spanish film. So it's not like a film that's been widely available here, sort of like in the UK. It's only just become available this year through Arrow Video. They just released, and this edition is the first edition. And it comes with the slipcase. It comes with the Blu-ray film, and it also comes with a poster, I believe. Let's have a look. There we go. That's the new commissioned artwork poster, which is fantastic. And here's the original sort of poster. One by one, they will die, it says. So it's like that sort of film. It's got like giallo, woman prison sort of thing, and a little bit of slasher going on. And it comes with a booklet, and there's the teacher and her son. It's such a bizarre sort of like concept, But you know what? I think that's what makes it wonderful. It's not black and white. It is colour. I've done these pictures for you, and it is a really vibrant looking film in colour. And it's a wonderful little release, to be honest. And I'm so glad I picked it up. I got it from CEX for under a tenner, and I picked up the first edition of it. So it's really, really cool. Really love it. So there we go. It's the review of this film. Please check out some horror channels before my next video. Check out Horror Hands, The Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Designs, Pizzol, I Am the Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, and a massive shout out to Lad. Hope you're doing well, mate. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.